So on the first mock test, you got many minor faults for driving too slow. So this is one of the road that you were driving too slow. So this road is 30 mile an hour. As you can see, you're driving about 10, 12, 15 mile an hour. Now the reason it's safe to pick up more speed is because you can see the pavement. There's no parked cars blocking your view. On the right, there's one parked car, another parked car there, but you can see around the car. It's safe to pick up speed because your view is very good. So here, because you're driving only 15 mile an hour when it's 30, it is a minor fault for going too slow. And then we turned left and we joined this road, and again there's no parked cars, so your view is very good, but again you're only driving about 14, 15, 16 miles an hour. So it's just too slow for the conditions. The conditions are good because there's no parked cars, so your view is very good, but you're driving at this speed when it's 30 mile an hour. So you're driving about 15 miles an hour when it's 30 mile an hour. So it's a minor fault for going too slow. And then we got to this road and we're turning right. So we don't go to the end of the road, we turn right here on the side and then we turn right again. So like this. Okay, and then on this road you can see the speed sign here says it's 40 mile an hour now. From 30 changed to 40. Now once you've turned, now you need to pick up speed to 40 mile an hour. Conditions are good because there's no parked cars blocking your view of any people walking on the pavement. No parked cars this side, no parked cars this side. It's 40 and you're driving at 19, 20 mile an hour. It's just too slow for this road. So that speed there, 22, 23, is just too slow for this road, which is 40 mile an hour. So another minor fault for going too slow. And then from this road, we turned right into a side road. And again, this road is still 40 mile an hour. There's a sign there that tells you the speed limit is still 40 mile an hour. But if there's no sign telling you that the speed hasn't changed, it will still remain the last speed sign you saw, which is 40. So again, this road is 40 mile an hour. There's no parked cars blocking your view. If there's any people walking on the pavement, you can see them very clearly, so conditions are good. And you're driving at 22, 23, you'll get another minor fault for driving too slow. Okay, so we're still in a 40 mile per hour zone. And as you can see, your speed is, you're still driving at 20 mile an hour, which is too slow on this road as well, as conditions are good. So you'll get another minor fault here because this is a different road and it's still 40 mile an hour and you're still driving about 20 mile an hour. Now this is more towards the end of this mock test. The speed has just changed to 30 and from 20, and you're driving at 21 miles an hour, which is too slow. If it's 30 and the conditions are good like this, you should be driving near towards 30. Maybe slow here where the people are there and this part in the middle is here, but then you should be driving minimum 25 to 30 with no parked cars blocking your view, and you're driving 18, 17, 16 now, 17. It's just too slow. And then this same road further down, it becomes 40 and again you're just driving too slow. So here this road is going to become 40 now, as the sign says 40 there. So it's 40 now, and again your speed is 21, 22, and it just doesn't pick up any more than this on a 40 mile per hour road. And then this is well beyond enough minor faults to now get a serious fault, and then you got a serious fault. So it's 40, you've picked up to 31, but that's not enough. For this road you should be doing easily 35, 38, 40, trying to reach 40. When there's no parked cars, there's no other car driving in front of you either, it's safe to pick up speed to 40, and you should, because otherwise you're going to annoy cars behind you and they're going to try and do something dangerous to go around you, which is unsafe for everybody. Unsafe for you, the other driver, other drivers and pedestrians. Now here I've asked you to find a place to pull up on the left. Okay? I'd like to find a place to pull up on the left in your own time. Okay, so in your own time find a place to pull up on the left. Okay, so let's see how many places there are. Okay, so now you should start checking the mirror, giving a signal, and start looking for a place. Now I can see a place coming up over here somewhere. just there, there's a raised curb. So you could go for this one. So as you come closer, slow it down. And you've given the signal, and I think you're trying to stop here, in this part here. But once you've got closer to the curb, you've changed your mind and you've carried on. And then you cancel the signal, which is good. And then you've driven past this side road. And now you give the signal again. Yep, you can pull up here, you can pull up anywhere here. And then when you pull up here, you hit the curb with the front tire, so it's a minor fault for steering. Okay, now here you've got a minor fault for your driving position. There's a car coming towards us, this one. Now, before the car gets closer to us, before it gets to here, you should check your left mirror, see how much more space you have on the left, and make some room for that car. But you haven't. You've kept straight, and when the car got very close, then you've moved over to your left. So move over to your left much more earlier to make more room for this car. So if I just rewind it, I'll show you again. Just watch from here. So now you should already be checking the left mirror, making some room for this car to come through. But you're staying in the middle of the road, and then only now you're moving out of the way. It's too late. You got a minor fault, so move out of the way more earlier. Now the rest of the minor faults on this mock test were to do with mirrors, checking the mirror before you signal, checking the mirror before you turn, checking the mirror before you start slowing down to pull up on the left. So check the mirrors more often. Okay, now the second mock test, I've asked you here to find a place to pull over on the left.
Find a place to pull over on the left side of the road. Leave your car on the road and not on top of the pavement. You can ignore the yellow line.
Okay, so here you can start looking for a place now. Okay, so definitely here where that pole is, you could pull up there. The curb is raised up here. Or you could go past this car and there's lots of spaces over there. But you've pulled up here. You should have just stayed opposite this wooden fence here rather than going in front of that black color car. So you've gone forward and the curb is definitely dropped here, and you've gone and pulled up here. In fact, you've gone even more forward now to block the driveway even more. So this is a clear blockage of the driveway, so it's a minor fault. You got one minor fault at this roundabout. There was some good chances to go, but you didn't. So there's one minor fault here at this roundabout for hesitation. Now here the speed went from 40 to 30. You did very good here. You took your speed down to 30 and you drove at 30 for a while. But then the road started to go downhill and your speed picked up from 30 to about 34 for about 2 or 3 seconds before you took it down again. So about this point here, the road is now starting to go downhill and your speed's gone up from 30 to about 34 for a few seconds, but then you took it down again, so it was a minor fault. And then about 5 or 10 seconds later, again the same thing happened. You took your speed from 30 back up to 33, 34 before you took the speed down again. So again, it's a minor fault. So going downhill, be more careful, use the brakes to keep your speed under the speed limit. Okay, now here I've asked you to find a place to pull up on the left.
I'd like to find a safe place to pull up on the left.
So after I've asked you here, now you should start checking. There's one parked car there already, so maybe that near there might be more spaces. So you see here, now you can see the marking on the floor shows you it's a parking area. So you can park your car here. You can pull up here. So after you've pulled in, perfect, you should aim to stop definitely before the last space here. Just stop here. But you've gone past here now.
Is it okay, double yellow line?
You've gone past here and you've chosen to go and stop on the double yellow line, which is not allowed. And then you eventually stopped on the double yellow line, which is a serious fault because you're not allowed to stop on double yellow line. Okay, so do not stop on double yellow lines.
When you're ready.
Okay, now we did the emergency stop here.
Stop.
Okay, and the brake just wasn't hard enough. It was too soft for an emergency.
Okay, drive on when you're ready.
And then when you drove off, you didn't check both of your blind spots. You didn't check any blind spots at all. So it's a serious fault for not braking hard enough and a serious fault for not checking your blind spots.